We got Colorado State going on the road to take on Boise State. It's a 5 p.m. Mountain Time game on FS1. Usually, this is a matchup where we'd say Boise State's a lock, and they should get Colorado State out of this one early. But from what we've seen the past 2 weeks from the Broncos, Max Cutforth under center, it does not look pretty offensively for the Broncos. They entered this game 16.5 point favorites. Over under on this one's 44.5, and I just don't know if I buy that. This may be a close matchup if they can't get the offense going the way it was 3-4 weeks ago. A 2-game losing skid that has seen Boise State only put up 14 points in those two matchups. A Colorado State team 2-8 in the season, 1-5 in conference play, but gave New Mexico a run for their money last week in a 17-20 loss. I like to think that this Boise State defense is good enough to handle a team that's seen 3 different quarterbacks start this season for the Rams. Whether it's Jackson Broussard or if it's Darius Curry, either one has been over the top impressive. I think Broussard has just got a little more experience with most of his starts. I don't know if they go with the Darius Curry route. He threw 3 picks last weekend against New Mexico. On the other side of the ball, it's been Max Cutforth, who's had a really shaky start the past 2 weeks. 37 defeat against Fresno State, and then a 17-7 defeat against San Diego State. Does not boast well. They did not trust his passing whatsoever. Maybe this is the game where they can rely on the running game with Dylan Riley and Cyrus Gaines, but those guys had about 80 yards rushing last weekend against a stout San Diego State defense. If this is the game where they can rely on the running game, you'll have Gaines and Riley and Sherrod being able to put up some effective yards with that 3-headed monster. This is still a team that puts up about 30 points per game to the Rams' 18 points per game. Certainly the biggest motivation for Boise State is this is a game they cannot afford to lose. They can't lose 3 Mountain West games back to back to back and expect to return to a Mountain West title game. Now, if they can win this game, and they should win this game, 16.5-point favorites, it's still there for them. And likely, I think they have a tough matchup against Utah State to end their season, but you get past these 2 games, and it's likely that Boise State is still hosting the Mountain West title game in 3 weeks' time. It's going to be a question of how much fight the Rams have going into this matchup in Boise. Boise State, if they can overwhelm them, which they should be able to do, despite sort of the lack of QB play from Cutforth, I think this is a game where they can get him out of here by halftime. No messing around. Rely on the running game, solid defense, and this should be a clear victory for Boise State. Of course, what we've seen from the last 2 weeks of this offense, anyone could be hesitant going in this game. They have to look at it as a game that they need to win. They can't afford to lose this game. End their last season in the Mountain West with a bang and proving that they were, truly dominant through this era. It's Colorado State going on the road to take on Boise State. It's a 5 p.m. Mountain Time game on FS1. Be sure to check this one out.